for class 10th. The first chapter name is Chemical Reaction and Equation and its equation. So here we have to study two things. One is the chemical reaction and other is its equation. Then a question comes to us, what is chemical reaction? What is chemical reaction? In a short form I am writing, this is reaction means chemical reaction. So the answer is that it is the process by which new substances are being formed. Chemical reaction, it is the process by which new substances are being formed. So here I am writing chemical reaction are the process in which new substances are formed with new properties. So again the term comes new properties. It means new substances are formed. Then a confusion is there whether new atoms are being added or new substances are. Here we are just finding that the atoms which is taking part in the chemical reaction, they rearrange themselves to form the new product. Suppose magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium is separated from oxygen, but on burning the atoms get mixed with each other to form the stable compound, that is magnesium oxide. So this will be termed as new substance are being formed, and if the new substance are there, then in the compound form its property will also change. Now this arrow separate the two phase. One is called reactant and other is called product. Then what are reactant? Reactant are those substances, just I am brushing up because I had produced this video earlier on. So reactant are those substances in which reaction takes place to form new products, or the substance ready for the reaction. Similarly, for product, what will be the definition for the product? The new substance produced as a result of chemical reaction. Further, I can break the reactant into two phases. One is the substrate, other is the reagent. Substrate, this is those substance on which reaction occurs. Reagent, the substance which acts, and this reagent falls on the substrate and the reaction takes place, in which the new atoms are being formed due to the recombination of the atoms. So here this could be understood with the help of an example. Here magnesium plus O2 gives magnesium oxide. If the number of atoms are not same on both sides, then such equation is called skeletal equation. But if we just, I will give you the conceptual ideas later on how to balance the chemical equation. So if the number of atom 2 mg over here, just write 2 mg over here, 2 oxygen, the number of atoms on both sides if are equal, then it is called balanced chemical equation. Then a question comes, how O2 changes to O. That will be discussed just now. But here, in order to write the chemical equation, how do the chemical equation help us? So there are certain characteristics of chemical reaction. Certain characteristics of chemical reactions are accompanied in different way. Either it will be the evolution of gas. Evolution of a gas means once the reaction carried out, the byproduct form will be, or one of the product will be in gaseous form. Either it will be H2, Cl2, O2, CO2 and so on. So in this example, if we are liable to consider zinc in presence of H2SO4 dilute, we are taking dilute. Two types of condition takes place. One is the dilute, other is the concentrated. If the number of contents of the sulfuric acids are more, then it will be called as concentrated, and if the number of water molecule increases, then it will be considered as dilute. Now this reaction takes place to form a product ZnSO4 in which hydrogen gas is being emitted. For this arrow we'll talk later on. This is the evolution of a gas, and secondly, formation of a precipitate. Precipitate means thakka jam jana, some solidifying mass. Some solidifying mass, turbulence mass we will consider. This can be understood by the examples. If a barium chloride is treated with sulfuric acid, as a result, this is colorless. Once both get in mixed with each other, it will form barium sulfate along with the HCl liquid. So this is the precipitate turbulence like appearance, which is white in nature. Now third one is that change in color. Characteristics of a chemical equation. First marked by the evolution of a gas, second marked by the formation of precipitate, third is being marked by the change in color. For in this reaction, you consider K2Cr2O7. It is solid, just like salt, which is orange in color. We make the solution of it, and if SO2 gas is passed through it, the color changes from orange to green color. So change in color also mark the characteristics of the chemical reactions. Fourth one is the change in temperature. So regarding change in temperature, what will be the condition? Change in temperature means either the heat is being absorbed or whether the heat is being liberated. Here, if in H2SO4, we consider the H2SO4 and there we add few water droplets, the beaker heats up. It means energy is being released. Now this can be understood with the condition of if in a slackline CaCO3 चूनागर्दानी जो करते हैं उसमें अगर पानी ऐड करते हैं तो it will form slacked lime and with the liberation of heat. So the reaction is exothermic in nature. So there are few reactions which may be exothermic or endothermic. There we will have the discussion all about the temperature, change in color, precipitate and formation of the gases. So here the change in temperature also marked by endothermic and exothermic reaction. If heat is being needed, then the reaction is called endothermic reaction, and if heat is being released, then the reaction will be called as exothermic reactions. So here we come, one more thing we have to follow all about the reaction, that change in states. Then what is change in states? So change in states are being marked by the one important characteristics, that if we start burning the candle, the candle is solid in nature, and this solid nature, once the candle is ignited, slowly the candle burns, and with the lightning the size of the candle slows down and ultimately it vanishes. So this gives the characteristics of color, which may be marked by the evolution of a gas, formation of precipitate, change in color, change in temperature, even in the change in states. So there are more reactions which can be studied under the characteristics of a chemical reaction. But here, whatever the things discussed, suppose change in temperature, there you find two factors. One is the endothermic and other is the exothermic. Then how we have to balance the chemical equation, and what is the reason for the equation to be unbalanced, why we have to balance the chemical equation, what is the necessary for us to balance the chemical equation. These things I am going to discuss in the next video. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.